Well, it was the big boy presser. Joe Biden was going to alleviate all fears that he is in total command of his faculties, in total command of circumstances and situations around him, and he is still fit to be commander in chief. And then he said this.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
What did you say?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
That's what I thought you said.
VP Trump. Yeah. Okay.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. Somebody to the top of the line.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and of course, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. Thank you so much for being a part of the Afternoon Drive. President Joe Biden is trying to fend off literally a hostile takeover, a coup from the inside. We who are conservative Republicans, MAGA Trump people, we are just sitting back with our popcorn and enjoying the show because we have been told forever two things. Number one, that Joe Biden is in complete control of himself. In fact, this is the best version of Joe Biden that has ever been of all the versions of, what's he, like a software update? He's Joe Biden 8.0. This is the best version of Joe Biden like ever. And behind closed doors, man, he is razor sharp and the world leaders are afraid of him because he is on point, he is on message, and he's tough. We all knew that was a bunch of bullhawk, and we've now been proven right. The other thing that we keep being told ad nauseum by the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media is that the Republicans are in disarray. They don't want Donald Trump. And how did he finagle his way in there again? And the party is fractured. And even though there's momentum among the MAGA people, the party will not turn out on election day and return Donald Trump to office. And nothing could be farther again from the truth. So know this, that whether it be Joe Scarborough or Jake Tapper or even faux pas news formerly known as Fox News, whatever they come out and say is going to be, it's probably the exact opposite. But they are in the midst of a come to Jesus moment and some real truth telling. After the debate debacle, and Barack Obama gave the sign to the media because he got the sign from the mega billionaire class within the Democratic Party that the money was going to dry up, Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper and CNN and the rest of the media, with the exception of Joe Scarborough at PMSNBC, have been given the green light. Start telling the truth about Joe Biden and his mental deficiencies. Jake Tapper is the one that really has kind of surprised me. And he's coming out every day and, playing clips of Biden. Then he's reading the transcript and then he's looking into the camera and saying, this does not inspire confidence. I'm enjoying this not because I think Jake Tapper's come to Jesus. I think it's more about, he likes his gig and the multi-million dollars he's paid, and he's proven he's not an actual journalist. He's just a teleprompter reader. He's an actor paid to do a gig, and his gig is to pretend to be a journalist, which is what most of the media does. They pretend to be in journalism, when in reality, they're just actors playing a part. And now they're doing this hard hitting of Joe Biden. They've known all of this all along. They've known it. Now, the bar was very low for this press conference. At one point, they were asking him about, now, Mr. President, are you going to be, going to bed earlier? And he's trying to convince us that he goes to bed at midnight and he's in the office at 7 a.m. Give me a break. I can tell you that my average bedtime is about anywhere between 2 and 3 a.m. This past night, it was 4 a.m. and I'm in my office by 9:30, but my bedtime is about 3 a.m. So I get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. Up, have my breakfast, have my coffee, head to the office, do my thing for the day. There's no way Joe Biden is staying up till midnight. He's now saying he wants to do things earlier, 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. And, it's all a crock, it's all a farce. But all he had to do at this press conference was try to sell the idea that he's still in command. Of course, he rambles on statistics. He did his gaps and his pause. He's an old man with dementia and apparently Parkinson's disease. That's not going to improve with time. It degenerates. It's a degenerative process. But what it's done, and this is the part that we in the MAGA conservative world can just sit back and smile, they can't bounce him today. See, he did well enough that the people supporting him are going to stay on board. And he didn't do well enough that the people that have already declared mutiny, they're not going to undeclare mutiny. And so the Nancy Botox Pelosi's and the Chuck E. Cheese Schumers that know he's got to go, but won't outright say it out loud because they're feckless and they have no backbone. And even though Barack Obama and the billionaires are telling him behind closed doors he got to go, they always hedge their bets. They have no core values. They have no backbone, no character. So you have Nancy Pelosi saying, it's the president's decision whether or not he wants to stay or not. And I'm sure by this weekend he'll let us know. He's said it over and over and over. I'm not going anywhere. The afternoon began with him introducing President Zelensky as President Putin. I just got Putin on the mic because we're going to kick his... Putin's kicking your arse. The Russian economy is rocking. Ours is tanking. We got the best economy. No, we don't. We don't. We've lost the petrodollar. And if there is a recession when President Trump comes into office, it won't be because of President Trump policies. It'll be because Joe Biden and constantly sticking it to Russia and stoking the wars of World War III because that's what the military-industrial complex wants. That Saudi Arabia decided to yank the petrodollar, meaning all the countries of the world no longer have to buy oil in American currency. They can now use their own currencies. That is the only thing that has propped up our dollar and kept us economically somewhat stable. And that's gone. Thank you, Joe Biden. So he has lost it. He's just lost it. And so he was asked, this to me is the most definitive question, and I will respond, and we'll call it a day here today.
Earlier explained confidence in your vice president.
Yes.
If your team came back and showed you data that she would fare better against former President Donald Trump, would you reconsider your decision to stay in the race?
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win. Me. No one's saying that. No poll says that.
Literally everyone in every poll is saying you can't win. I mean, this is why George Clooney did what he did.
So although I wish I were here with better news, the fact is that you and I are sitting here today because this will be your last week of employment. This is not an assessment of your productivity. You gotta try not to take this personally.
Well, I just had a bad night.
I didn't have a bad night. You have dementia, and you've got a crazed wife and family who, for their own selfish reasons, want you to stay in, and you, being the stupid alpha male that you are, think that you are still up to the job, and, well, you're not. Just ask Vice President Trump about it. He'll help you see it through. So here's my takeaway from the so-called big boy presser. Joe, you answered every question. You got the poopy and the potty. Where was Jill cheering? She should have come out for this one. He did well enough that the people that are kind of supporting him will stay on board. And he's fended off the mutiny for another weekend. And so now we go into the Republican convention strong, unified, and ready to rock. While the Democrats trying to figure out how they off Joe and it not look like what it is that they're actually doing.